line of sight, visualizing what areas you're working in. You need to be able to see. And the HVAC system's super important. You need to identify heat sources, heat loads for your HVAC, sound deadening. Both of those have to do with insulation. You need to figure out what sort of glass you need, how much visual area you need, where the windows are going to go. So you need to know where your heat loads are, whether it's from the engine or from the sun, or if you're in a building, if it's a heated building, you'll need to figure out what insulation you need from it, what sort of glass area you have, and then compensate with the air conditioner heater, the size of it. Like some of these cabs are going into Arizona or New Mexico where they're 120 degrees. If you have specifically a dark cab, your cabs can be upwards of 120 degrees. So you need to cool them down to 75 or so. If your cabs are going into a mill where it's hot, you're going to have to deal with those heat loads. Some of the cabs go way up north, into Canada, so you're going to make sure you've got enough actual heat going into the cab to keep it warm as well. A lot of it depends on what real estate we have. For the most part, we've got a foam with an adhesive back that we put in the cabs, typically a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. It really depends upon the real estate we have too, because a lot of times you've got ducting and wiring going through there, large wiring harnesses. But we'll choose a foam with an R3 rating or so per inch. The higher it is, the more insulative properties it has. It doesn't necessarily have to be thicker though. See, the denser foams have a higher R rating at the same thickness levels. A lot of times you have lots of obstacles to go around too. Like wiring harnesses will have tie downs everywhere, so you've got to get around all that. If you're talking about insulative properties, we do put foam in some of the doors. The door seal gets a bubble seal. We need to know what compression we have on it and then put the seal in it accordingly. We pressure wash all our units to make sure they're weather tight basically. So lighting's important. It needs to be dimmable for sure, because at night generally you blind the people, so it needs to be dimmable, but it also needs to be bright enough to where you can see as well during the day. Or the LEDs work very well because they're not drawing as much current.